Right, I actually might do a bit of an intro and then we can literally just.
I had that face for like 5 seconds as you were saying it. I was just like, I saw your face go,
What a thing that was. All right, let's
absolute
get.
name.
What is the crack, everyone? B2B Sports, we are back. Standard crack, Sam is here, as
Yes,
always.
as always, as always.
Um, bit of a not an unusual podcast because it's World Cup, but we're going to be doing a little bit of a watch along to the rest of the second half of this Brazil Serbia game. We've just seen a bit of a long range ping from Alexandro, of all
Is it
people.
Alex? Was it Alexis Sandro? I don't know because it
No,
doesn't look like Sandro.
he actually doesn't.
So I'm not quite sure. But that was an absolutely insane, and yeah, off the post from like 30 yards out, ridiculous. But
Nil
still
nil.
remains 0-0.
Yeah, still 0-0. I saw on Twitter that the average height of this Serbia team is 6'1".
Yeah,
So they're
that's
doing it.
massive. Like that's ridiculous. It's
Absolutely.
all the basically an NFL team just standing. But yeah, I think obviously Brazil are one of the favourites. The other favourites, Argentina, fucked up.
Wow, let's talk about that, mate. What happened?
Forwards to Messi.
They started off well though, Argentina.
Oh,
That's,
they had like two. They had two or three goals um, chalked off
yeah, offside.
offside. Um, so I mean, they had the spell of chances, and to be fair, Serbia, not Serbia, Saudi Arabia's second goal was a bit mad.
So good. So good.
One of the goals of the tournament, and it's definitely. I'm guessing it's going to be the result of the tournament. I don't think we're
Well,
going to see an upset quite like it.
Argentina on a
Um,
36 game unbeaten
yeah,
run or something. They hadn't
they would
lost
have
a game
equaled.
in
Yeah,
years.
it would have equaled the record, I think, if they'd if they'd won. And you'd think of all teams, Saudi Arabia was not the team to knock them out of it.
Pop
Uh,
up. Pop it with a
so
banger. Um,
yeah, so very interesting. Makes that group very interesting. Um, yeah, and makes my prediction of no South American teams getting into the. Oh,
Golazo,
and we
golazo.
have our first goal, and it's Tottenham's superstar. I say superstar, he's not at all. Richarlison.
Good for me fantasy team. Probably
You
one
got
of the
Richarlison in there.
one of the only players, mate, that's actually scored top.
Honestly,
My
my,
fantasy team's
my
at
fantasy
useless.
team is awful. I've got Lukaku, which didn't play.
I
Um,
told you, didn't he? Muscle injuries,
I
muscle.
know, but I'd already confirmed my team, and then when you try and make subs, it's subs for match day two. So yeah, I've already basically given up. What's the point?
To be fair, it's
Fantasy
so
is
confusing.
awful.
You really have to get like these tournaments. You have to be on it. Like,
Yeah,
when's the cutoff point? Is it tonight?
I have no. Is it? I have no idea.
This is the last game, isn't it?
Oh,
Just
probably yeah, because Fridays, yeah, because England play tomorrow, don't they?
yeah. So I
So
think it starts again. So I think in between each match day in your group, I think you can make a change. I think that was the Euro. I think that was the case in the
yeah,
Euros. Um,
the Euros app is much better.
oh mate, this is
The
horrific.
FIFA app is awful.
This is horrific.
Um, but yeah, I think if we go back to Argentina, I still think they'll probably make it out of the group, but
Do you think?
it's
I think
definitely an interesting. I mean, there's that rumor going around that they've purposely lost to Saudi Arabia so they don't play Brazil in the knockouts, which I doubt they've done. Obviously, I don't like to think of that of being something they do, but if it works out like that, it works out in their favor. So at the
well,
end
they
of the
got
day,
they got what? So they've got Mexico and Poland in their group, I believe.
yeah, they've got the best World Cup goalkeeper of all time, Ochoa in goal.
Saved Lewandowski's penalty, mate. Just pops up
Honestly, what a guy! He just turns up for. I mean, say he turns up for World Cups. He used to be pretty sick in the leagues too, but he just. I think he's had like 136 appearances for Mexico.
Wow, I didn't know it's that many. To be fair, yeah, he actually has feel like he's gone on for
He's
ages.
been around a while, but he only plays in a tournament every 4 years. He doesn't do anything else.
I swear there was a weird. rumor that went around, like, was it in Russia World Cup or something like that, that he had like 6 fingers. I swear. I swear there's a messed up rumor. Maybe I
Just
think
that.
someone like maybe photoshopped. He's got an extra.
I like that because how would that make it like
I
him be a better goalkeeper in any way?
don't know. Um,
But that's great.
he does turn
Um,
up. In like you said, what club does he actually play for? I don't know nothing about the guy apart from he rocks up for Mexico and just
yeah.
I would imagine some MLS side. That's what I'm predicting.
Um,
Mm,
Ochoa. There we go. Guillermo Ochoa. Um, for Liga MX Club America. So I think he plays in Mexico.
Mexico. How long was that? Is that how long has he been there for? And what was his previous clubs?
2019. So he's at Standard Liège before that. Granada, Malaga, Ajaccio, San Luis, and America. So he's gone back to his first club. But
Wow.
he played for America for from 2004 to 2011, like 239 appearances. So yeah, 132 appearances for Mexico.
You would
That's
think,
great.
right? He like the teams that he's played for, they've not been the best
No,
clubs, have they? Like in comparison to what he performs like at the World Cup, you would have thought he plays for like, don't know, like Inter, AC Milan,
honestly, how he hasn't had offers from massive clubs.
bigger clubs. Yeah.
How is he not never played in like the Premier League or even like Bundesliga or French league? It's mad.
Maybe he's
Like
a bit like
you
Pickford. Like he performs at that next gear for
yeah.
his
But
age.
I remember him being when he was in La Liga, and like he was making saves left, right, and centre. So I don't. Maybe you're right. Probably Pickford is just probably just his highlights.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't think he's ever been an awful keeper. And to be fair, Mexico, how have they not produced a different keeper all this time? But they're going to need to, otherwise their team's going to be awful.
They were saying that with about Argentina. Oh, bit of a counter.
Oh, oh,
Yeah,
he's always coming back. Oh, I
oh.
fucking hell! Oh my god, the worst.
Vinicius Junior, man. I would expect better from you, mate. Completely
Honestly,
limb.
literally just goes for a kick and just slides out of frame.
What
Camilo
was
Heskey fly challenges his own
yeah.
shot.
Yeah, going back to what I was saying about Argentina, on the highlights, even worse. That like they were saying that Argentina, I think, in Russia, the last World Cup, they didn't even have Emi Martinez. Like Emi Martinez sort of popped out of nowhere for
Yeah,
them
in the Copa, what
in
was
the
it?
Copa.
Copa America, didn't
Yeah, and like that's I know they lost to Saudi Arabia, but that's like a massive addition to their squad because
he?
they've not really had the best. They've always had the players going forward, didn't they? But
Yeah,
defensively and a goalkeeper, they probably struggled a little bit in recent years. But then again, they still lost. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you
yeah.
can say what you want, but it's all lost. And fair play Saudi Arabia. I think big shock. I hope they can carry it forward, um, because it would be quite nice to see them go a bit further.
Did you see?
Uh,
Did you see the fullback though? He's got clattered, didn't he? He got not. He
oh
got
yeah, yeah. He's had surgery. I think he broke his nose, concussion, internal bleeding. Like it was awful.
yes,
The
yeah,
fact that he almost carried on as well.
mate, mental. It's similar to
Uh,
we've had a few concussion sort of
mm,
scares this World Cup, like the Iran goalkeeper. That was a madness as well.
yeah,
I don't know why they
again,
let him play on. Like,
no, I don't. Yeah, so it's. I mean, some of the officiating has been a bit iffy in this tournament. Some of the what's been going on.
the old 10 minutes added on time at the end.
I know. I mean, to be fair, at the end of the day, I don't mind that much. More football.
It's yeah, I don't mind it because they've given a reason for it now, and it has been
Yeah.
consistent. Like the first game was like, okay, this is a bit ridiculous. Or Roberto
Mm,
Carlos in the stands. Oh boy,
yeah. So no, they're literally now saying that whenever the ball goes out of play, VAR is called. They literally stop the watch,
yeah, essentially, yeah.
and that's always made sense because otherwise they've just basically been guessing it, haven't they? All these years. It's like if they had a few injuries or a lot of substitution stuff, it's normally 5 minutes. Just standard 5 minutes.
Chuck on a 3 minutes, 4 minutes, whatever whatever.
Exactly.
Right. It's
So I
kind of
like that it's
sorry, go on.
standardized.
Yeah, I was going to say it's like almost like NFL
Yeah.
because the amount of game time they should have 60 minutes, but the amount of actual play time they have
Yeah.
is a lot lower than that, and it's like
Well,
football.
I
Go on.
think what they should do, obviously, is just stop the clock when the whistle blows.
Yeah.
They do it in rugby. They do it in
Oh,
oh, Jesus Christ!
bobbling all over again.
Oh,
Jesus.
that'd been sick. Ah, Serbia almost coming in there from a corner, and wild overhead kick.
I can see this is the only way Serbia are going to score.
Oh
Big.
yeah, big centre back. Just I'm too fair. It's an awful header. There's nowhere near on target. Um, that shot could have been a lot better.
Shows horrendous.
But but I think the main thing is that tomorrow England versus USA.
Mate. Well, we got to touch on that first game. I didn't expect to score 6 goals against Iran, who are pretty defensively solid. Pretty.
Yeah, I didn't realize they were what 20th in the world.
Yeah, I think they conceded only like 4 goals in the whole qualification stage. I think as well. I think, yeah, not bad team.
I'm quite happy with that. I wasn't able to watch the game this year. It was 1 o'clock, so I'm guessing a lot of people weren't able to watch the game. Um, but no, great effort. I mean, unfortunately, did obviously concede two, but at the end of the day, if you score six, that's kind of all right, isn't it?
There you go.
Can't
Can't.
really complain too much. Harry Kane could be a doubt for the game tomorrow.
He got a little knock, didn't he? On his down his was it Achilles
Hmm.
kind of area?
Something like that. So he's I don't know if he's a doubt or I think he's getting it checked, but I mean I think he assisted a goal, but I don't think we like Rashford played really well when he came on.
I was gonna say, like England scored 6 goals and Harry Kane didn't score any of them. Like that's
Yeah.
pretty mad. He's always in amongst it. Um, I don't know if his play, how he plays for Tottenham is actually affecting him a little bit because he drops deeper now, doesn't he?
Hmm.
Drops deeper into the play and collects the ball and
Yeah.
allows the wingers to run forward and be more creative and score. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I don't know. Obviously, he's doing well in the Premier League, but he wasn't in the goals the other night. So we'll have to see if he plays and if he is
Mhm.
in the goals. But
Yeah. Hopefully. I think he's I do think he's important to the England team. Like he does create loads of space, like you said. He makes the runs, the dummy runs, um, and it's what you need.
well, here he comes,
Oh God.
the man of the
Oh God.
bread. What a trim that is!
I mean, he looks fresh. I don't know what
Like
I'm talking
Black
about.
Panther style.
Yeah, he's he's just ready. He's ready for everything.
I was going to say about that England game. What I really liked is that the players, i.e., Rashford, Saka, um, the players that underperformed in the Euros final, they stepped up and they had a really
Yeah,
good game.
hugely.
Rashford's goal was incredible. Little chop.
Yeah, I mean Rashford and Saka both who were absolutely. Oh my word! Oh my word!
Oh, Richarlison, goal of the tournament. Goal of the tournament.
Jesus Christ!
Oh,
He's just. Oh my word! I can't believe I've just seen
mate,
that.
that is a bit of Brazilian Joga Benito. I can't even lie.
That is mad. Ball played into him in the box, back to goal. It pops up for him, spins round, volley into the bottom corner. Just
Yeah,
what a goal!
definitely one of the goals of the tournament so far. I love that. And
Jesus.
that's good for me fantasy as well.
I've given up already. I've forgotten there's not a forfeit for fantasy, is there?
Not yet. Not
Oh
yet.
yeah, there isn't. There is not a forfeit for fantasy. That's what I'm calling it.
Oh mate, that is
Um,
goal and a half.
that is
Mate.
a lovely goal. That
No.
pops up. Oh, to be
Over
fair,
his
he
shoulder.
miscontrols that quite a lot.
Nah, yeah. I don't know if he quite meant to put it over his shoulder, but I mean the finish, you can't deny it. Oh, wow.
Oh, what a goal! And Brazil are looking good.
Wow.
They're one of the favourites, and they're looking like it at the moment.
It's quite funny
And
that
Ricciardo.
we started recording, it was a 0-0. and then two goals are coming straight away.
Honestly,
I'll
just
take that.
lucky charms, lucky charms.
I'll take it.
Absolutely doing bits.
Did you watch any or hear about the Portugal game?
Yeah, so 3-2 in the end, wasn't it?
3-2.
I think Portugal played pretty well.
Yeah, I
Um,
think I think in the first half, I didn't watch all of the first half, but what I caught from the punditry that they had a lot of the ball, and they had some chances, but they couldn't really break down the Ghana sort of defense. They had a lot of men behind the ball,
yeah,
and they needed a little bit of spark. Um, and I think that spark seemed to be Rafa Leao, who seems like an absolute baller.
yes.
He plays for AC Milan. I watched him um, when Chelsea played Milan, and he's rapid, mate. He's absolutely rapid. And I think he just changed the game for Portugal. And Ronaldo scored, man of the moment, of course.
Of course, of course. No, but I didn't see any. I've not watched the highlights or anything. But I mean, Ronaldo got man of the match, I think.
Did he?
Yeah, so doing bits.
What do you make of the whole interview Piers Morgan situation?
Um, at the end of the day, like he wasn't lying. Like he's probably been treated pretty poorly. Um, I think it's an odd time to do it, especially when the team's kind of on the up, like playing well for once, especially under Ten Hag. I know he's not involved, but like I think if he's been told by Ten Hag that he's not going to be that involved, like that's the manager's decision.
Fair.
Um, I can understand where he's coming from. That him coming back to the club has brought a lot of media attention and probably money and all that to the back to club. So he does do a lot for it. But at the same time, if it doesn't fit the what's going on with the club, you're not bigger than the club. Even if you're Cristiano Ronaldo, I still don't think you're bigger than the club.
The only thing I
Um,
just think that he could have gone about it a little bit better. Right,
yeah,
firstly, Piers Morgan, you're interviewing
exactly,
your
exactly. You don't go to Piers Morgan, do you?
come on, really. And I don't know, just the whole way it was done. From
Yeah,
I didn't actually watch the interviews. All I saw was the clips. Oh, Neymar's on a bit of a mazy run. I just saw the clips on like Twitter and stuff. But from what I've heard, the clips are the most explosive bits.
yeah,
You know,
exactly.
there wasn't really much to it. And I think he was just slating really how United's been run. Like nothing's changed in the 20 years or however long, 15
Yeah.
years, however long
And
it's
to be
been.
fair, like he's not wrong. If those things are the same, why are they the same? Um, I think they may have thought that if it ain't broke, don't fix it with Sir Alex Ferguson, like keep it similar to how he did it. But he's not there anymore, so
It's
you've
true.
got to change it. I think Mourinho was the first to change the dressing rooms. So the dressing rooms are all new, um, and all that. So, but to have just that little amount of change in that long is
Mm.
it's probably not great. So I agreed, didn't do go about it the right way, but I think at the end both parties come away with what they wanted.
He said
I would have loved to have seen him stay with the club and play more, but it's one of those.
he said something in it. Oh, this don't look good from Neymar.
Oh shit, he's down, isn't he? Neymar's tournament over as just as it begins.
He looks like he's done something serious, you know. He's just
Yeah.
sat there.
He probably I think he went down also like just off the ball. Not looking good.
Oh, Jesus coming on. Bloody
Jesus, their strength and depth is ridiculous. Like
And
the
is that
fact that Jesus didn't play like start in front of Richarlison is mad
that's mad. Yeah, that is actually mad.
because Richarlison, sorry, but he's awful for Tottenham. He's not played well.
Well, he's just he's a
Yeah.
bit of a shithouse for Tottenham. He scored a few goals, but he comes on. He don't. He's not guaranteed to start. Sorry, but
No,
Jesus is the main man at Arsenal.
yeah,
So
and I wouldn't say he's guaranteed a start for Brazil. I
no,
mean, I suppose after this performance, you say you can't really say he's not.
no.
So that's great, great coaching from the manager there.
Who's
But I
in
hope this
goal?
isn't
Who's in goal? Because I remember like
well, whether it's Allison or
Allison or Edison. That's another choice. Like,
I
come on, like
honestly don't know.
I think
We've not seen much of the Brazilian goalkeeper.
no,
Um,
he's off. He's off.
he's off. He's off now, substituted. Let's hope it's nothing too serious. But they bring on Anthony, of course they do. What? That's ridiculous.
It's mental. It's actually mental. Um,
This is
yeah,
probably the best Brazil squad I've seen in quite a while.
yeah, they do look good. They do look really good.
Quite exciting to see.
Yeah, as I was saying about Ronaldo, I think he said a quote in that interview where he said like, it takes something like he said mention Picasso, and he said it takes one part to like fall and then to like start almost like a revolution, something like that. So, and I've been seeing rumors on Twitter that the Glazers might sell. Uh,
Yeah.
have
Apparently, Apple want to buy them.
who?
Apple.
Apple. Uh,
Yeah. I
Interesting.
also want to bring this live coverage from the NFL.
Oh, okay, yeah, because it's Thanksgiving games on.
It's the
Go on then.
Thanksgiving game. Buffalo versus Detroit at Detroit. It's fourth quarter, 21 seconds left. Buffalo 25, Detroit 22. Detroit are at the, I don't know what, 25-yard line with 30 seconds to go and three timeouts remaining.
Oh my God.
Like they could draw
Wow.
level with a field goal.
Is it at Detroit or is that Buffalo?
It's at Detroit.
That'll be a huge win for them.
And
Huge.
that would be a huge win for us.
Yeah, it would. It would.
The Pats, because I mean, and then we play the Vikings tomorrow morning. Oh my word! Oh fuck,
Oh,
Jesus!
post was that angle? Post bar.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's dive into a little bit of NFL because the Vikings are flying 8-1, just beat the Buffalo Bills in their own building, and then probably one of the games of the year, probably the game of the year.
mm,
And then we welcome the Dallas Cowboys. It was going to be a tough game. We had a few injuries here and there, offensive line and in the cornerback area, and we got absolutely slapped. Like that is
honestly, how
possible.
did that work? Oh,
Ooh,
good effort. Brazil are all over them right now, by the way.
yeah, yeah. This could be 3 or 4 before the end. Before,
Yeah,
but yeah, mate, the Vikings. That's probably one of the steepest score lines I've seen in the NFL. I'm not even joking. 40-3.
40-3 is a bit ridiculous. Um, I don't know how can you even begin to describe what happened? Like Kirk was nowhere, offensive line was nowhere. It's just
I did feel a little bit sorry for Kirk because he had like no protection, mate. He had when the ball snapped, he had probably like half a second
really,
before Micah Parsons. It was like literally in his face. So I do kind of feel sorry for him. The offensive line just went to pieces. One of our rookies, not rookie anymore. I think he's second
mm,
round, second year in the NFL. Darashaw, he was like injured, so they were just getting through on that side. But yeah, it was
yeah.
absolutely embarrassing, man. At home as well. Oh, mate, shots on.
They're honestly, the Serbian goalkeeper is doing bits right now.
Yeah, yeah, literally. But
Why?
we've got the Pats. We've got you boys.
Yes, early on Friday morning. Um, I'm not going to be up for it. I
No,
don't think.
as
Um,
much as I'd wanted to, I'd book a day off. I probably wouldn't have stayed up till about 4 or 5 in the morning anyway, even with a day off.
exactly,
So it would have been,
exactly. So it's a bit of an ask, but it'll be interesting to wake up to see what happened.
yeah, I know.
Um, I'm nervous because I mean, if the Bills, if the Detroit can pull off a win here, like we could have the same record as the Bills if we beat the Vikings. Um, so yeah, needed. I mean, she's gone to fourth down for the Detroit, so it's a field goal,
To tie it up,
really, field goal to tie it up, um, but leave like 30 seconds on the clock.
mate. We've said this before. The only two teams really in the NFL that can work with 30 seconds or less are the Bills and the Chiefs. It's
Yeah,
done it before. Like 16 seconds to them is nothing.
yeah.
So, and the Bills did it to the Vikings when we played them. Like we gave them about 30 seconds and Josh Allen just marched down the field and got within field goal range easy. So,
Isn't it? He's, oh my word, he's just got it in. You know, one of those ones that goes up right by the upright and it
yeah.
goes wide of it and then comes back in. He did that. Oh my word. That was
Right lines.
Jesus Christ. He's already missed one today,
Has he?
that kicker.
Wow,
So that was squeaky bum time. That was.
freaky.
But yeah, he's left 28 seconds on the clock.
Interesting.
Madness, madness. But
Yeah,
Pat's gonna win tonight. It's fine.
bit of a grudge game. Obviously, Sam's Vikings fan. I'm a Vikings fan. Sam's a Pats fan. So, um, and it's going to be a close game. What? Pats are 6-4.
Yep.
Vikings are 8-2. Um, so it should be a good one. The Pats defense is shit's hot. Maybe not their offense, but their defense
I
is.
mean, our offense. Why? I mean, defense builds championships. Wins championships.
That's true.
I
I agree.
mean, I think over the last, I don't know how many weeks. I can't remember how many weeks it was. I think it might be either from like middle of October or just November. We have given up 80 yards of 80 throwing yards. 80.
Mate.
Like that's ridiculous. I know one of those games was against Zach Wilson and they were truly awful.
Yeah,
Um, to be
they're
fair, that game in general was truly awful until the last minute.
what,
But
3-all until like the last like 30 seconds or something like
honestly,
that.
yeah, and the Jets go from either being first in the division to last because we've now beaten them. They're only two losses. Or I think Zach Wilson's only two losses because he was injured for a bit. Have both come to the Pats, and he's now gone and lost his starting job. How mad is that?
Mate, their team is in free fall, mate. I think Zach Wilson said some really questionable things about his offense and about
Is
his
he
own teammates and stuff like that, and been a little bit cocky with it. Oh, is that a little flip
nice
flap?
field goal? Ah,
Oh, he's gonna whip that top bin.
oh my God, the Bills got within field goal range already.
I told you, mate. The time is nothing to them. Who did he just hoy it forward to Gabe
Diggs again,
Davis or something?
straight to Diggs. Oh, from the 20 yard, straight down the middle. Poor coverage, but and poor defending there. Didn't wrap him, but they're in range.
In within field goal range.
Yeah, within field goal, straight within field goal with one pass.
Wow,
That's ridiculous.
that is mad.
Oh, he almost picked it and not picked it, but almost batted it away as well.
Josh Allen's been picked a few times, mate, in the red zone.
Yeah, he got in today as well.
Yeah, got picked again, didn't he?
Not going well. So, yeah, no, basically, I mean, the Bills probably going to win this now. I don't see them losing this.
This is actually mad, Sam. Like they've just brought on Martinelli. They've
What? Who started in this game?
they've just brought on Rodrigo. Well, I didn't even know Rodrigo was on the pitch.
I think he started.
They've taken off Rafinha and put on Martin.
I'm just looking at who started in this game.
Their strength and depth in the forward areas is absolutely.
So they have Allison starting.
Alisson starting, yeah.
They have Danilo, Marquinhos, Thiago Silva, Sandro. Fine. They started Lucas Paqueta, Casemiro, Rafinha, Neymar Jr., Vinicius Jr., and Richarlison. And they've ended up bringing on Fred, Gabriel Jesus, Anthony, and Rodrigo and Martinelli, who all start for their Premier League teams.
He's mad. He's actually mad. They've got strength for days. I
You've
mean,
still got Dani Alves is on the bench, Militao's on the bench, Fabinho is on the bench, Tellez is on the bench, Grimares is on the bench. I mean, Edison on the bench, obviously.
yeah, they've got
That
to be
team
favourites.
is
They've got to be
just
favourites, sure.
stupid.
I mean, wing backs, you could argue that they're slightly,
Yeah.
you know, disadvantaged there, but they can't argue. Got Fabinho just sitting on the bench.
Like, why? You bring him on for a nice defensive game.
Going back to NFL, is there any other games on? Is there a game in between the Vikings and the
I
Pats?
don't know.
I think there's usually
There's
three.
normally like three or something, isn't there?
Oh,
So Cowboys Giants at 9:30.
big game.
And then Vikings Pats at 1:20.
This is how it goes. If I wake up and Sam's texted me, I know the Vikings have lost. If
Yeah,
if we
know it.
don't get a text from Sam, then I know the Vikings have won.
Yeah. And the Bills have won it. You got it through. Fuck's sake, Detroit. I
Detroit.
know I had to turn it on and then watch it. It'd be annoying, but anyway. But yeah. I'll text you when I wake up because it'll be early.
Yeah,
Um,
you'll get up with
Honestly,
like probably.
started going to the gym at like woke up at 5:30 this morning, so go to the gym before work.
What is wrong with you? You psycho.
Did it yesterday, did it today. Yeah, it's a nice 5:30 start.
What do you do in the gym?
At the gym for 5:45.
What do you do in the gym? You got a little bit of a
I just do what George does.
just follow what she does.
Yeah, yeah. Did legs yesterday,
Yeah.
I think. Did we do legs yesterday? I can't remember if I went to the gym yesterday. It was all kind of rolled into one this week.
Oh, blend it.
Um, but last time I did legs and it like killed me for a week, so it's fun.
Been to the gym in ages. I'm not a gym
No,
person.
exactly. That's why I thought I should go.
I'm not a gym person. I've been trying to keep up with my running, but mate, the weather this week has been pretty grim. Like just
Yeah.
constantly rain. Just don't know what it's been like up in Scotland, but
Oh, it's lovely.
yeah.
No, it's been cold, but it's not too awful. I think it rained yesterday or something. But yeah. Oh, yesterday went to work. We sat in my car just before work because I got there a bit early. Guy comes and parks next to me, and then all of a sudden I'm on my phone. All of a sudden, like the whole car shakes and something's hit it. I'm like, what the fuck's just gone on? I get out of my car, and this other guy's just coming out of his car, just walking back to walk off, and he's like, oh yeah, the door just got caught in the wind and slammed into your car. I was like, okay. Like, and he's like, yeah, but it's fine. It's like, well, I'll have a look first. So he was starting walking away, and I went around and had a look, and he was like, there's no damages there. I was like, I don't know, I've not had a look yet. I looked down. There is a bit of a scratch. It's not a dent, which is quite nice, but there is a scratch. And I look up, and he's gone. I was like, what's just happened here?
He obviously didn't want to even look, did he? He was already making his move away. Like, obviously,
Honestly, I was like, if I wasn't there, he would have just walked away from that.
yeah. The only reason why he really told you is because you were literally sat in your car.
Yeah, he didn't know I was sat in my car until I like got out, and he was like, "Oh, hello." I was like, "Well, yeah, I've just been shaken in my car like a milkshake here. What's going on?"
Just imagine you sat in the car.
Honestly, and I was like, "What the fuck just happened?" It took me a second to like register, but no, that's just it. Was just my moments yesterday morning.
Absolutely
I
idiot.
was so angry.
Mate, I bet you are. I'd have been fuming, man.
I took
Dude,
pictures and everything, but I mean, I don't really know what I can do.
yeah, no, there's not a lot. Obviously, it might cost you just to, don't know, repaint it. Don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to Quick Fit anyway on Monday, so
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
for a different thing.
For a different thing.
Yeah.
What's wrong
Quick
with?
Fit. I'm annoyed with Quick Fit as well.
Oh no,
They,
never
I,
seen
I
one.
got a new back box put on in May. Um, Exhaust starts rattling again, so I took it back. They're like, oh yeah, they put the wrong sleeve on it, wrong size sleeve. I was like, okay, what do I do now then? They're like, oh, we can change it, but you need to call customer service first because you got it changed in Manchester and we're in Glasgow. I was like, yeah, I know that. Thanks. um, so I rang customer service, and then they were like, "Oh, somebody will give you a call trying to set up a time for you to do it." This guy rang. He was like, "I don't really know why they didn't just do it there and then because you got like a warranty at Quick Fit. You can fix it wherever. Doesn't matter." I was like, "Fine. Give me a time, like Saturday if you can." He was like, "Okay, I'll give you a text when I've booked a time for." She didn't get a text
Man,
at
he's
all.
useless, man. Honestly.
Tried ringing. Obviously, he'd gone home, so his phone was off, so it didn't ring anything. So I ended up ringing Quick Fit, and they were like, "Oh, yeah, you booked in for Monday at 10:30." I was like, "Well, obviously, I can't do that. I didn't ask for Monday, so I had to change it to this Monday." But honestly,
Honestly,
absolute
mate,
lava, mate.
you don't have the best of luck, do you?
No, and
Like,
obviously, and now I found got a pay slip today that because before the tax year ends, I'm not earning like that much over the threshold. There's something called like a marriage allowance.
right, okay,
So my threshold comes down, so I end up paying more tax, but Georgie's threshold comes down, so she pays less tax.
right.
So we basically pay tax at a lower rate, but I'm paying more because we're married. I was like, it just came out automatically. I was like, what is this?
Mate, always the first pay slips are always messed up, man. Always
But,
messed up. It just
but
takes so long to sort as well.
yeah, I hope it's sorted. But yeah, last night my income tax is the worst. So
Mate, absolutely shambles. Gaming's nearly over. A couple of minutes left. What is that a celebration? What are they doing?
missed that.
They're doing some weird like handshakes and sticking their tongues out. It's just weird. Richarlison and Danny Alves on the bench.
You already seen that? What the fuck is that?
On one last thing to talk about before we wrap it up. Did you see Danny Ricks join Red Bull?
Yes,
What do you
yes.
make of that? As the third driver, supposedly.
I think for him, that's a sensible move, to be fair. It's either a year out or a third year with Red Bull. With if Perez starts underperforming,
It's a bit of
like
pressure, isn't it? It's a
a
bit of
bit of
pressure.
pressure because Ricardo can is a good driver.
Yeah.
If he get and then once he get if he manages to be able to get into that Red Bull, um, he could be off with it.
Yeah.
Perez only has 1 year left on his contract. I think at the end of the day, it's pretty good call.
It's a good
Um,
move. He looks
he
happy
can
as well.
exactly he can relax a bit. He's going back to where it started for him. I don't think he's ever had any lost love for like Red Bull. I think there was obviously a strenuous time when things weren't going quite right, and he felt he was kind of pushed out a bit. But now he knows exactly where everyone stands. Everyone knows that Max is number one. That's it's going to be like that. I think it's going to be a much better place for him.
Yeah. I think
I
he
hope it goes well.
yeah, he's got a lot of comments on his Instagram and stuff saying you left Red Bull because you're a second driver and you're coming back third. But I think that's a little bit harsh, way of looking at it. I think this is if there was any team, this is the best team for him to be in contention with a seat in 2024.
Yeah,
If he wants to compete at the highest level, like he could have chosen a Haas or a Williams, but I think that would have been really the end of his career. I think.
yeah, yeah. And I think the fact that Christian Horner and Red Bull giving them that seat is really, I think, an ode to. I think when he was at Red Bull and he was the number one driver, it very much felt that he wasn't going to be the number one driver.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, I think even though when the whole thing was going on with Max coming up and they put Max into that Red Bull seat because they didn't want to lose him out of their youth program. So he was always going to be a, a
Yeah,
star for them. They were
sure.
going to always treat him like he was number one, even when they said that Ricardo was. So I
Hmm.
think that was a difficult time, and I hope that Red Bull are trying to repay that kind of
Yeah,
debt to him because I think he was harshly removed from that. Like that situation was hard for him.
yeah. I
Um,
think I think Horner always is liked him. You can see by the
mm,
stuff that Horner said about him this year and stuff when he's been
yeah,
struggling. Like Horner's always respected Danny. So yeah, I
always
think there
have.
is a mutual
Yeah,
respect there. So
no, I think
yeah,
good move, and I hope it works out for him.
yeah, for sure. And that wraps up. The Brazil game's just finished. So they've won that pretty comfortably in the end, 2-0. Yeah, and I guess this wraps up this bit of a watch along podcast. I'm sure we'll
Yeah,
be back next week, maybe with another one of these, chatting a bit of sports waffle.
possibly.
But yeah, and we'll keep you updated on how the Pats Vikings game goes because that will be a
Oh
bit
God,
tense.
I'm
But yeah,
hoping. I've got my fingers crossed. We can if we beat you tomorrow, Miami lose to the Texans, we could be in good contention to be in a wild card position, and that's ridiculous. I think
mental.
we were like 2 and 4, I think, or something,
Yeah.
3 and 4.
You're in a
So
bad spot, and now you've turned it around as you always do.
yeah, it
So,
was a bit like that last year. Like we won, I think, 7 on the bounce
on
out
a
of
roll.
nowhere. So yeah, I'm hopeful, and we've got the Vikings when they're down.
Definitely down, mate.
Um,
Can't get any much worse than that.
no, exactly, a 40 to like 43. So I think it's going to be a good game.
Well, that wraps it up. We'll catch you again next week, probably. And yeah,
Yeah,
enjoy the World Cup and peace in a bit.
in a bit.